Alright, it's time to address the elephant in the room. One of the greatest comedians in the world, Barry Humphries, also known as Dame Edna, has died.
I love just being on this beautiful show with you, and I'm wearing, of course, my retro Scylla black look. This is my back to the 60s. This is an original by Mary Quant.
Really?
It is. She was a wonderful designer of the 60s, and you know, I've had this since that far-off age, and I've never had any alterations on it. It's never been changed. My Quant is the same size as it was in the 60s.
And as seems to happen more and more recently, as soon as someone famous like that dies, all the smears come out, all the nastiness comes out. And this case is no exception, and I think it's shit. So we're going to have a look at Pink News to see what they say about the famous Barry Humphries. But first, a word about Coffee Brand Coffee. Let's talk about Coffee Brand Coffee, a grassroots politically neutral coffee company started by my mate Jeremy Hambley last year that's quickly gained a solid reputation as some of the nicest coffee out there. You know what, I'm just going to steal Jeremy's ad because it's to the point, it's relevant, and he says it better than I can. Take it away, Jeremy.
If you want to get one of Coffee Brand Coffee's Mother's Day gift boxes, which I'm telling you, it's a great Mother's Day gift, make sure you order yours today. We're running low. We'll probably sell out before this week is over. You want to make sure you get it ordered, get it to your house, delivered in time. We've got this delicious Mother's Day gift box ready to go. That's got sea salt, milk chocolate caramels, milk chocolate pretzel twists, chocolate covered espresso beans, and our Colombian blend available in whole bean or ground. We've got favorite kid edition, which tosses in raspberry yogurt pretzels and milk chocolate pretzel twists on top. Or if you know what mom likes to drink, you can scroll down and go to customize. Get your signature coffees. You know, if she likes light roast, dark roast, maybe some of our cold brew blends, double caffeinated, even decaf. We also have about 10 different signature flavors that are all wildly popular. We've got all the cocos. We've got 15 different organic teas. Maybe they don't like coffee, but they like tea, and all the premium candies and snacks, of course, in the builder as well.
Use coupon code BEARING, get 10% off, simple as. Mother's Day sorted. Barry Humphries' anti-trans remarks are a sad stain on Dame Edna's legacy. Okay, Barry Humphries is the most famous crossdresser to ever live. I think if anyone can have an opinion on the trans thing, it's him. But no, all of a sudden he's a villain, or was a villain, because he agreed with some common sense shit. Tributes have been flooding in for Dame Edna star Barry Humphries since the comedian's death at the age of 89 last Saturday, the 22nd of April. But news of the Australian drag icon's passing has renewed the conversation around anti-trans comments he made in recent years. Humphries, who performed as the exuberant Dame Edna Everage for more than 60 years prior to his death in a Sydney hospital, helped to bring drag into the mainstream during the second half of the 20th century. His larger-than-life alter ego, known for her bitingly satirical political and social commentary, despite his status as a beloved comedy figure, known to audiences across the globe for subverting gender expectations on TV and stage, the last few years have seen Humphries hit the headlines for all the wrong reasons. After he made repeated marks about trans people that left a sour taste in the mouths of many LGBTQ+ people, allies and fans. So what did Barry Humphries say about transgender people and Caitlyn Jenner? The controversy began in 2016, when Humphries expressed support for Australian feminist author Germaine Greer, a longtime critic of trans people, who wrote in her 1999 book The Whole Woman that trans women are men who believe they are women and have had themselves castrated to prove it. Well, I mean, is she wrong? How is that not a factual statement? Now, I'm just going to interrupt this shit show to tell you exactly what I love about Barry Humphries. You see, Barry's a very dignified man. He's a very well-spoken man. He was raised in a pretty privileged environment. He attended the Melbourne Grammar School, and he was so eccentric and wacky for his time that one time in the early 50s he went to a mandatory school football game and he sat with his back to the playing field and started knitting. Now, that resulted in the principal pulling him into his office saying, "Barry, I've got concerns about you, buddy. I sincerely hope for the sake of this school's reputation, you don't turn out to be a poofter." You see, poofter means gay in Australia. It was a pretty legitimately homophobic time back then, and I don't think Barry Humphries was actually gay. He was just wildly eccentric. You see, this is a man whose most famous characters were pretty much the world's most famous cross-dressing housewife, Dame Edna, and Sir Les Patterson, an outlandish, alcoholic, chain-smoking Australian statesman. And he's just fucking hilarious. Look at this.
Beautiful. Good luck to you. And hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Got a
I once got a handful of Vaseline. Something. How are you feeling?
I'm not feeling too bad.
Yeah. Now, of course, images.
Oh, sorry, Mike.
What is it I've got in my hands?
Oh, it's an ointment I'm supposed to use. I was just giving myself a quick application before the show. You know, the trouble with the film industry, as it is with the yachts in general today, is the poofter element. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't mind what people do in the privacy of their own homes. Don't get me wrong on that score, ladies and gentlemen. Please. You know, I see eye to eye with old Ken Livingstone in that particular matter. But what I'd like to say is this, that, you know, there are a lot of... the industry needs a fair bit of weeding out, and, you know, it's rife with the poofters in Australia, as it is here. You know, I had a lovely idea for a film a few years ago. It was going to be called... It was about a football team going to the bush. It was called Piss Up on Hanging Rock, as a matter of fact.
Greer had been at the centre of a controversy in late 2015 after trans rights supporters at Cardiff University opposed plans for an on-site talk by the writer. They deplatformed her. In an interview with The Telegraph in January 2016, Humphries described Greer as a friend and stated, "I agree with Jermaine. You're a mutilated man, that's all. Self-mutilation, what's all this carry-on?" In the same interview, Humphries criticised Olympian and Keeping Up with the Kardashians star Caitlyn Jenner, who had publicly come out as transgender on the cover of Vanity Fair the year before. "Caitlyn Jenner, what a publicity-seeking ratbag," he said. "It's all given the stamp, not of respectability, but authenticity or something." He added, "If you criticise anything, you're racist or sexist or homophobic." Fucking A. Humphries got it right. After the remarks hit the headlines, Dame Edna's official social media channels posted a series of bizarre messages that appeared to distance the character from Humphries. "I'm partly Aboriginal, I'm certainly Jewish. I could play canasta at the age of 5. And I disassociate myself from anything Barry Humphries has to say," a statement read. "I fired him years ago, but he refuses to accept dismissal. The poor thing is losing the plot. He deserves our pity, not our disapproval." Trans actor and star of BBC drama Boy Meets Girl Rebecca Root was among those to publicly criticise Humphries at the time, saying his retrograde comments were resonant of the bad old days. Oh. Root stated, "If he retracts the statement, I'd say he's sorry and move on. But if he does a Jermaine Greer, I'd say he's gone too far, and the BBC should reconsider its position on giving him a show." Humphries went on to describe supporting trans youth in schools as pretty evil. Yes, I concur. Just 2 years later, Humphries doubled down on his original anti-trans comments, making further graphic references to those who have undergone very specific forms of gender-affirming care. Gender-affirming care, come on, you mean sex change. You mean genital mutilation. Gender-affirming care, my ass. They had their genitalia chopped off and tucked in, and whatever they had to do, and that aroused a lot of indignation, probably among the people who'd spent a lot of money having it done, the Star told The Spectator in July 2018. In the same interviews, Humphrey branded being transgender a fashion and criticised teachers who support trans youth in schools, declaring, "How many kinds of lavatory can you have? And it's pretty evil when it's preached to children by crazy teachers." Among those who criticised Humphries at the time was genderqueer Australian comedian Hannah Gadsby. Oh my god, Hannah Gadsby, the least funny comedian in the whole entire world, who branded the veteran entertainer irrelevant and inhumane. Fuck off, Hannah Gadsby. How dare you say Barry Humphries is irrelevant? Why don't we take a look at some of your comedy?
I'm not not a man-hater, but I am afraid of men. If I'm the only woman in a room full of men, I am afraid. And if you think that's unusual, you're not speaking to the women in your life. I don't hate men, but I wonder how a man would feel if they'd have lived my life. Because it was a man who sexually abused me when I was a child. It was a man who beat the shit out of me when I was 17. It was two men who raped me when I was barely in my 20s. Tell me, why is that okay? Why was it okay to pick me off the pack like that and do that to me?
Okay, so I kind of added the laugh tracks. Not to make fun of any of the bad shit she's talking about, but to highlight just how unfunny this show is. So Hannah says, Barry Humphries loves those who hold power, hates vulnerable minorities, and has completely lost the ability to read the room. He's not a comedian. That's an irrelevant, inhumane dick biscuit of the highest order. Oh my god, don't make me show another clip, Hannah. And this is the bit that pisses me off the most. The following year, the Melbourne International Comedy Festival announced it had renamed the event's top prize, the Barry Award, which had previously been named in honour of Humphries. Yeah, you know why it was named in honour of Humphries? Because he started the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. That's Australia's highest ticketed event. It gets like 700,000 or 800,000 paying customers per year. Barry Humphries and some other bloke started it in like 1987, and this is the thanks he gets. He has some very down-to-earth opinions on trans people and trans ideology, and he gets stripped of his legacy. And apparently he got very depressed about this. His later years were quite sad, because he got cancelled by outrage mob fuckheads. Did Barry Humphries ever apologise for his comments? When asked about his comments again in 2019, Humphries attempted to play down the controversy, telling the Sunday Times magazine that nothing has been more grotesquely interpreted. However, he failed to offer further clarification of his views, or provide a retraction. Appearing to appoint blame for the remarks to his alter ego Dame Edna, he added Edna carefully said she thought that men who had themselves castrated did not become women, and that got taken the wrong way. Well, this is a sad turn of events. This world-famous comedic genius, an absolute fucking legend, dies, and out come the mob. Oh, but you said this thing one time that I don't like. You're nothing but a bigot. You should be stripped of all your achievements. Fuck off, trans mob. Fuck off, cancel mob. You're really starting to shit me. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there. If you have any comments, leave them down below, or at my super duper gay half stepbrother-in-law's Twitter account, bskills, with 3 L's and an at the start. Also, I'm on Rumble. Go subscribe to me on Rumble. I would highly appreciate it. Alright, thanks for watching. Ta-ta. See you later.
Recession, session, advertisement.